It's a two-part question. This question comes from Burkina Faso, and it is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the consumption of chilies as such? And many people find it very hard to digest chilies. Is there any homeopathic remedy which would perhaps help them to do so?
You see, first of all, advantages and disadvantages. Chilies apparently are irritants. They cause irritation of the mucous membranes, both in the mouth and in the stomach and all along the channel. Throughout the alimentary canal, they cause this. Now, at the same time, this excitement of cells creates a pleasure. So, to begin with, you know that, don't you? Yes. When Salima first came, it was very difficult for her to eat chilies. But gradually she got used to it and she began to understand why we eat chilies, and she enjoyed. Sometimes she could take hot food, real hot food. So this is what happens to all people. Many Englishmen nowadays are fast changing over in their dietary habits to Oriental foods, etc. Oriental style of eating, because of these chilies. The more you eat, the more you crave for them. And it's so delicious, unless you feel your mouth hot, you can't enjoy your food. The food without chilies seems insipid and meaningless. But it has disadvantages as well. One disadvantage is that it moves the bowels, and if you eat too many chilies while you're not yet used to it, it can cause severe dysentery, even with large blood hemorrhages, etc., etc. So these are the disadvantages from which many Africans suffer, who eat large amount of chilies, and their chili especially is extra hot. It's much hotter than the chilies found in Mauritius. The small curly chili, it's so delicious in taste. This African chili, which I'm talking about, is much severer than that chili. Your chili is just small thing, It's just sweet meat as compared to that. So they are used to that as well. Now it causes all sorts of elementary chronic diseases. Yet they go on eating. Why do they eat, and what is the purpose of God creating this? Chilies are the best antiseptic for contaminated food and contaminated water. If they had not got this natural defendant against contaminated food, this natural protection, they could have suffered a lot from the dearth of fresh food, uncontaminated water, etc., etc. So Allah has seen to it that chilies work against such threats to life. The same thing is true of India. In India, it's a poor country, and in large parts of India it's difficult to have pure water and pure food, but they eat chilies, and because of that they can consume such water, such contaminated food, etc., as would kill a Westerner immediately, who is not used to. You are no longer under that category. It happens, you know. Many Britishers were told when they used to go to India, take care, but they must carry their own food, their bottle of water, etc., etc. But the best treatment should have been, they should gradually start eating chilies. No problem. See? So they have advantages and disadvantages, and advantages, in my opinion, outweigh the disadvantages. Apart from the taste, which I've talked about, other health advantages are far more. And the last but not the least, now the American researchers have declared that the green chilies are the best, they provide the best protection against heart diseases. Prophylactic, whatever you call them. Those who eat chilies, green chilies, they don't have heart attacks. And even in some patients who have heart attacks, nowadays a new generation of surgeons and doctors advise them to have green chilies. So one such doctor I know personally who even advocated chilies to me. He said, for every disease have chilies. See? So there is no need to turn to homeopathy. Turn to chilies.